Comrades, welcome back to Transport Fever. It's time to continue the European campaign, and it has been months now since the previous mission, so I think it's high time to get going again. Actually, yesterday I received a comment on the first mission of the European campaign asking me when am I continuing this thing, so I took that as my prompt to get going again. Of course, as soon as we click campaign here, the advisor will speak his whole story again about the mission, so I'll let him do that. I'll just make the note that this is now build 13505, so the whole patch has been updated here, that whole official story that makes a tunnel, an actual tunnel, and that whole thing, so that should be interesting to see what the effects of all of that will be. I also have some mods in the background here. That was for a free game a while back, but I don't think that will have any effect on the campaign. If it does, I'll just turn them off, so we'll just have to have a look at that. So let's get going.
The old continent is constantly yielding great new inventions. Be part of this rapid technological progress and found numerous thriving transport companies in Europe.
Just a reminder there of our mission. So, let's go, mission 2.
In the cradle of industrialization, the factory smokestacks smoke without end. The cities are thick with soot. Men, women, and children make sure that the machinery keeps running up to 12 hours a day without a break.
That's
The railroad
savage.
network is being diligently expanded. The trains have doubled their top speed in just a few years. Faith in modern technology is as unshakable as the reign of Queen Victoria.
So on my own I managed to get 3 of the medals. That makes no surprise because I've rarely managed to get all of them. So the first one I got was on time. Build the bridge before 1902. The next was the key to wealth. Earn $1 million by transporting tools. And alternative transportation, fulfill the special request of the steelworks owner and transport goods by ship, which I think is a really interesting aspect here because ships don't really get enough attention in this game, I think, so anytime we can make use of them is a good thing. Speed record, cross the test bridge at a speed of at least 60 kilometers an hour, so that's one we'll have to try and get. And heavyweight, cross the test bridge with a total load of at least 60 units before the tests are concluded. So it'll be difficult here because obviously the one says we must go fast, but the other one says we must carry a lot of things, so that will take some juggling there. I'll skip the loading screen here, and then when we get back into it, the advisor will just tell us what to do.
What a monstrous disaster has shaken Scotland in this year of 1880. The railroad bridge over the Tay has collapsed, torn in two by the storm, and the train which was crossing it sent to the deep. Her Majesty may have been a bit hasty when she knighted the bridge's builder. We can do better. We have been commissioned to construct a railroad bridge a little farther south, on the Firth of Forth. And it is high time. The ferry makes people seasick, and the detour over the mainland is long and tiresome. Building the longest bridge in the world is no easy undertaking. Also, the tidal range of up to 6 meters and the strong currents won't make the matter any easier. At any rate, it has been clearly demonstrated how not to do the job.
Indeed, and we have certainly a great deal of experience, so I think Her Majesty made a good choice to ask us to build this longest bridge in the world, which is of course based on a real bridge, the Forth Bridge in Scotland, so always very interesting to just reflect on the real world equivalents. So let's see, medals we've looked at already, so I'll just say start mission and then of course we'll get some more detail.
The collapse of the Tay Bridge, an unquestionable disaster, was caused solely by human failure, a series of construction mistakes, ignorance, and sloppiness. At least we now know that cast iron parts aren't much use in the construction of modern bridges. We should rely on something more solid. Steel.
Yes, it is the age of steel anyway. See to it that the Falkirk steel mill produces steel. So if I click on that, we'll see where it is. It's all the way over here. Coal and iron ore are needed for the production of steel. Use an appropriate train to transport them from Falkirk coal mine and Livingston iron ore mine to the Falkirk steel mill. So this is very much again equivalent to the second US mission, where I think we also had to deal with the steel. So they're giving us that guidance again. Use the existing bridge near Falkirk to deliver the coal, so you can see that bridge there in the background, and that will be helpful to you in your next mission. So I'll just close this, and we are paused, so that's a good thing. So let's have a look. What can we do here? There is a town, I think that's north, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So a couple of towns, not really that many, but we can certainly make some money off of them. Edinburgh is of course the main one, so a very good one to have. Livingston, Falkirk, Dunfermline and Kirkcaldy. I have no idea how to say these names, but I'm giving it a go anyway. So here's the first bridge. Now, of course, you could ask the question, why don't we just use this bridge and not build the new one? But it is because of the whole thing where they said it's too much of a detour to now have to go all this way. So they want a shortcut here near Edinburgh. So let's have a look. Where is this coal mine? Oh, that's an easy connection. So let's just have a look at the cargo station. Okay, it doesn't look like any of the mods are interfering here, so that's a good thing. This can be a dead-end station because there's going to be no further connection anyway. So let's have a look. How can we connect this? It actually works if we just connect it here. That might be a good idea, since we don't have the need of any road connection. So will that do? Should I align them a little bit better? Something like that should do, and it's not too expensive, and we just have to make the connection. 120, even though I don't think we'll manage to reach 120. Then the steel mill, of course. Where's the iron ore mine? That's over here. Let's have a look. There's the tool manufacturing plant, and that's going to be very important since we have to make $1 million dollars or pounds off of that, so we have to keep that in mind. So let's see, I think for this one we'll need a station that will continue on with at least 2 tracks. And where can we place this? If I just look at the contour lines, well, there's no point of doing that because we can't continue unless we can squeeze the tracks through here. We might actually be able to, and then we can even connect Falkirk to Livingston through this line. But anyway, let's just place the station. Let's go back to that one. I wonder if I shouldn't rotate it a bit more. And it doesn't cover the other one. There we go. That should do for now. We can always rearrange it. So all I have to do now is to make the connection to the... Well, we need a station here first. I don't think, well, yes, I think we should have another station that will allow us to continue the line. Something like that, so we can then eventually ship the steel. Well, there's no other place to ship it, so that was not really necessary since it's only going to go back to the tool manufacturing plant. Oh well, it doesn't matter. So this one I think we'll split off and just make sure that we avoid the contour lines as much as possible. Should we cross the road there? I think so. Just all the way around so it's nice and easy. It doesn't create any kind of a challenge for the locomotive. And well, that might have been a bit too wide there. Let me actually take it back a little bit. And like that. And let's see, where should this one go? Probably the inside would be fine. Okay, that's one of the connections. Now the other one. So for this one I think we can just actually avoid the whole Falkirk area just to make it easier. So we're going to go around it. Trying to keep the speed to the maximum. just around there. I think then we can just place the train depot here as well, since this will be the departure point for both of them. Okay, the connection is made. Now, the depot, that since we don't need this side of the connection, we can just place the depot here. And just place it like that, and then split the track off to both sides. Good, so they don't have to wait for each other. It's a dedicated line for each one. So the first one, of course, is the Falkirk East to Falkirk North, and this will be the coal line. Actually, can just say coal. That's another thing that they changed, actually, is you don't have to delete the whole word now before you can type in another name. You can just start typing. So that's very helpful. To there, and this will be iron. Okay, so let's get this thing going. We have three options, the D13, the Borsig, or the Class 53 Prussian G. Now, since we're dealing with bulk goods here, I think the Prussian is probably the best option. It's a bit more expensive, of course. It's actually double the running costs of the Borsig. Maybe on the other hand, the real question, of course, is this a rush? And obviously, to get the bridge built before, I think it's 1902, we should hurry up. But on the other hand, there's no real need to rush with coal and iron. So let's, well, see the tractive effort, the power. I'm going to take the Borsig. I'm going to be adventurous and take the, actually the middle one here. So there's only one option for the open wagon, and for this, I guess I could just leave it automatic, but why not? I'll just say iron, but now I have to make sure that it goes to the right one. 2, 3, so how many is that now? Per each one we get 4, so that's 12, 16. Actually, we should get quite a few here. We do have a bit of money. Let's do it like that. And then for the other one, of course, coal. Now, I'll just have to move them there. So it's 3, 6, and 9. And close this one. And already quite a bit of our money has disappeared. Just move this. Not that one. Actually, I should start from this end. Okay, so for this one, it's obviously the coal line, and for this one, it's the iron line. And let's get going. At last, the trains run again after quite a long absence. Yes, I think those locomotives will be fine. It's not really a rush here. They do split off there, so there's no need to worry. So the first issue is to manufacture 30 steel, which I think will be quite easy. We can basically just speed up until that happens. Or actually no, stop for a moment. We should always be on the lookout for more opportunities to make money. So, unfortunately, Falkirk is quite small. Livingston as well. But I think we can start building a passenger line between Edinburgh and Livingston. I'm sure people in Livingston would be eager to visit Edinburgh and vice versa. So, always that can be an issue to help us, with the money. So let's just see here. I think for this one, if I just turn the, let's just have a look, where is the neighborhoods in the city? We could even just bring it in right here, since there's a gap still, and then that could split off to the bridge eventually. Okay, let's do that. So a dead-end station with at least 2 platforms, although we don't really need to, but I'll do 2 anyway. Can always just make them wait there. Don't want to delete too many buildings here though. It's unavoidable, I'm afraid. Oh well, it'll just have to be that way. Then I can go back to the contours and just split this one off this way while trying to maintain the speed as much as possible. And where is the destination? That's the thing for me always. I need to know where I'm going before I start building the track. Let's just have a look at the town again. So the industry is on this side, and then we have this hill here in the middle. So eventually I would want to ship the tools to Edinburgh, especially because that's our biggest market, but also to all the other towns. So we'll probably have to build a tunnel here and then come out somewhere here. So I think this is where the station will have to be. Might actually delete this piece of road here just to bring it a bit closer. Then just rotate it so it's nice and parallel, at least as close as I can get it. And then let's just continue the inner one here, so then the tools can go on the outer line. Doesn't really matter, they can just share the line eventually. Luckily this is not too expensive. What's happening with that road? I think they've improved the whole road crossing thing. There's not these huge dips anymore in the tracks, which would be quite undesirable. So it's 120 all the way, even though I don't think we'll reach that, and that looks very nice. So if we just have a look on this side again, it doesn't really cover much of the town. I think we'll have to just get a coach here as well. Just one maybe. We can just place it here for now. And then somewhere in the middle of town, since that will basically cover the whole thing. It's not really a long line, but I think it is worth it, just to encourage a few more people to take the train. So this will be Livingston Coach Service. And then of course we will need a depot for that, which I always like to place in the industrial zone. Just have to fine-tune this a bit. There we go. And I think 2 coaches. We actually have the l'obéissant here now, and that is very useful. So I'm wondering maybe just 1. No, let's do 2, just because then if the one is going to the station, the other one is on the way back. So let's be safe there. I'm sure we'll have more than 5 people using the train. Now on the Edinburgh side, I think we're okay here. I know this doesn't really cover the whole town. There's huge gaps here, so I will do something about that. I just need to get the train running first. So for this one, I'm wondering if we shouldn't have another train depot, maybe on the Edinburgh side. And since there's this industrial sector here, I think that's actually a nice place to build it. Even just here. Or a bit further away maybe. Let's just put it there, so we can imagine the industrial workers also work in the depot. Now, will it be possible to create a curve here? It should be. Too much curvature. Just have to do it like that and then continue. It doesn't look very pretty, but it will change as the new tracks come into the picture. So let's just create a new line here. This will be from Edinburgh to Livingston, of course, and I can just name it as such to make it easier. And for this, let's just have a look. Here we can use the faster locomotive, I think. So the Prussian, just because I think it's going to be more profitable that way. The running costs can be justified through the passenger income. So 50 is the max speed, and the Bavarian car has also a max speed of 50, so it's a perfect match. And since Prussian and Bavarian is anyway German, that seems to fit. Let's see, how many people will we want to take here? Actually, 72 sounds good. I know that seems like quite a lot, but I think it will be a popular route. So now we can continue. Of course, it's just going to take a while to get going. Let's make it all the same green color. No, not that green. That one. There we go. Uniformity. Then inside Edinburgh, I think we can just put a coach service now. At least the train is running. If I could only connect this now. Maybe I should have done that first. Of course, it is actually possible to just do like that. I don't mind if the road is a bit wobbly. I don't want the tracks to be. I think that's fine. So let's have a look. Obviously the station is right in the center of Edinburgh, so we don't need to put a separate one for the station. Let's just have a look. Which way is this gonna go now? Let's just put it... Oh yes, the other thing, if you place a building now, the people don't disappear magically. That is a fantastic addition to the game, I think, and a very welcome one. Let's put one out there so we can get the outer edge of the city, and maybe one somewhere here, and then another one up in this corner. One more here, and I think we'll go down here first and then back to the main station. That will do, and then people can also use this inside the town even if they don't want to take the train anywhere. Just continue this and that one and that one, and I didn't miss anything. Nope. So Edinburgh coach service. Even though I wonder if it's more a bus now than a coach, since we have the l'obéissant. For this I can just place the depot here again. Also, the good thing now is the whole coal and iron thing is happening in the background. I don't even need to worry about it, but we're still maximizing our income. So for this, maybe a couple. Doesn't matter the exact number, but definitely more than Livingston. So that should put us in good stead for the foreseeable future, even though we burned another 3 million or so just to get this line going. But there's already people waiting here, so that shows it is worthwhile. It's a tiny bit of income for us from the coach service there. And the town is already expanding. Fantastic. So eventually then, with the tunnel there, we can continue the passenger service to Falkirk, even to Dunfermline, but I think that should go through the main bridge here, not through the secondary one. I think there's a mission attached to that as well. That's the whole test bridge business. So that's the one that we have to do the speed challenge on. But I'll buy a separate locomotive for that when the time comes. Let's see if we can actually build a bridge here, or not the bridge, the tunnel. Now, it doesn't matter really on what side I do this, so let's just take the outside one there. Although, I do just want one tunnel though, we shouldn't double it. So even though it will be a slight detour for the passengers to go around through the industrial area here rather than straight through, I think it's better so we can just maximize our infrastructure. So let's just go straight through and see if we can connect it by some miracle. Probably not. No, that's fine. We'll just bring it somewhere close here, and that's awfully expensive, but it is an investment. Should we do it though? No, I think it's safer not to. Since this is the campaign, we can't just take out loans. Obviously, they'll offer us the opportunity to do that. And I don't think it really matters for this one because it's there's no requirement that says we must not take out any loans. Of course, some of the missions ask us specifically not to do that. But I think just for safety's sake, let's not do that at this point. Is there any way around here? No. See, they're very clever here by placing the whole mountain and everything here, that we can't just go around it. Could always just try going through this gap. But again, then I'm just doubling the whole story. I think we just have to wait for the steel to come in now. Okay, at least it is producing, so that's a good thing. Where's the road between Falkirk and Livingston? So that also goes here, but it goes over the hill. Otherwise, we could just have a coach service running between them, but I don't think it's going to be worthwhile. It should be a train service. 2.79. You know what? I think we should do it. Again, it's not good for the finances, but this is something that will bring us income, and it will bring more traffic for the train line to Edinburgh as well. Maybe we should take the other line here, just so they don't have to wait for each other. But I'm gonna do it. Since that part of the infrastructure is laid already, we can just as well do it. It is 2 million, but so be it. And you see, the tunnel is new here. This is a total redesign of the whole tunnel mechanic. So we can actually see here, unlike before, if we just go close, we can actually look right through the tunnel. It's a proper tunnel now, not a simulated one, which is a very nice touch there. Now, is it possible to continue this thing? Well, it is in theory. There we go. It's a bit of a slowdown, but that's not a problem. It's a very short stretch there. Then we just have to go on this track more or less to there, I would say, and then somewhere here we'd have to put a station now. And since this is a nice open area, let's do it right there, since it will give us access to the center of town. I think I'm definitely going to need that loan though, because we won't be able to afford the locomotives. But at least for these two towns, we won't need so many passenger cars. There won't be that much of a demand. So how will that be? I can minimize the destruction here. No, I don't want more than one building. It's just going to have to be that one.
The money is slipping through our fingers. We'll soon be bankrupt. But if we're prepared to grovel on our hands and knees, our financiers will grant us a bridge loan.
Very interesting use of words here, the bridge loan. Definitely, take it. There's no reason not to. Let's not be shy. We can always argue that this is the money that we earned in the American campaign, and of course from the previous mission, so why should we not use it? So here we can just cross the other track at a right angle. That's perfectly fine. We'll just have to make sure the signals are up to par. And then here it will just have to connect. I could have reused that track again where the iron line is going, but just to avoid delays for the passengers, I'm not doing that. Okay, perfect. So that's another one, and I don't think in Falkirk we'll need any coach. It covers basically the whole town, and if people can walk to the center of town from here, then they can just as well reach the station. So for this one now, I just have to make the signals here. Let's just have a look for this. Since they'll be coming here, I actually want the goods train to wait for the passenger train, but we'll need signals on the other one as well. So the signals on the passenger train should be closer. Should be obviously on both sides. So when it gets to this point, it can just continue unless the goods train is already in this spot. For the goods train, I'm going to make the gap a little bit bigger so that it makes a preference for the passenger line like that, so that they have to wait there if the other one is already approaching. That should do. I don't think we need any other signals at this point. We also avoid the whole thing here, and that's no reason for a delay. It's using the other platform there. Perfect. Can we just reuse the depot here? It might be possible, but then I'm going to have to do some magic with the whole train line here. On the other hand, I think we can just reuse it. Why not? We should always strive to reuse our infrastructure as much as possible. So I'll put a gap here, and then of course just a signal again. Let's just put it up to that point, and then I'll just buy the train. It will have to wait a little bit, but then at least when the iron one is past there, it can get out of the station. So I'll take one of these, and then Bavarian cars. Let's see, how many of them will we need? Let's make it 40 passengers for now. If there is a need for more, we can always add that. So set the line, a new line please, from Falkirk to Edinburgh. No, not Edinburgh. Well, indirectly to Edinburgh. Uh-oh. That's of course my alarm telling me the half hour is up. I'm really trying to stick to the half hour model now, just so that it's not too much of a ramble. So let's just get this whole train going here. At least that will mean it's in place for the next episode. Although I didn't think I finished this line now. No, it's incomplete. The crescent, that's not right. Get to the station there. No, it's taking the bus stop for some reason. Delete it again. There we go, Livingston. So just have to name this quickly. And then it should be on its way. Just have a look what happens. It's waiting there now for the other one to pass the signal. It should go now. There we go. Let's speed it up to third. We're already a third of the way there with the steel now. Now the thing I want to do is I actually want this train to cross this little spur here, and then I want to remove it, because the last thing I want is for the iron train to now also make use of that line. I don't think
the disaster on the Tay would not have happened if only they had the proper figures available. The engineers factored in a maximum wind load of 20 pounds per square foot, although the French assume 40 pounds, and the Americans even assume 50. And American engineers are not exceedingly cautious, as the whole world knows. We had better not trust information from just anyone. We will conduct our own measurements, with test runs over the bridge at the west end of the Firth.
So that's where the whole test challenge comes in. Conduct a load test on the bridge at Falkirk, and then we'll actually look at this in the next episode. So I'm just going to close it now and leave this episode off here. This is actually a very good point, since we finished the very first mission, or at least part of the mission. So see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.